Welcome once again to AV Racing TV. It's Thursday, it's race day again. We are off to Mexico. What is this? Race 12 today. Just sort something out on there. Right, race 12, Mexico Reaper back in the lead right now of the driver standings with 189 points. FCST in second place is back in here right now. And NAC is currently in third place on the championship, 1 point behind FCST of 142, FCST with 143. Only 12 drivers in here today. Only 12. Who have we got? I've got both Williams in here. I've got both McLaren in here. I've got both of the Renaults, both of the Red Bulls. Both Mercedes, only one Haas, only one AlphaTauri, no Alfa Romeo, no Ferrari, no Racing Point, no red or pink cars. Well, that bit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's still, who else are we missing? No Racing Point, no Ferrari, no Alfa Romeo. We're missing a Haas and an AlphaTauri. No Gargamelin, no Bestos. Numbers seem to be waning and thinning. We've got 20 seconds left before we load in. Last time's race at Mexico was a phenomenal battle up the front between James, Knack and Reaper. I don't know if we're going to have the same sort of driving today. God bless you, Gnome, and I hope you enjoy your drink. Thank you very much. I will enjoy my drink very much. And there it is, as we load in, 12 drivers loading in to qualifying today, off to Mexico Autodrome. Manos Rodriguez in Mexico City, Mexico. 50% race, as always, for us, which is 36 laps, around 2.6 mile or 4.3 kilometer track, 17 corners, 3 DRS zones. Interesting track is Mexico. Essentially, a big triangle with 4 sets of corners and a lot of straight in between. That's pretty much how we describe Mexico. Because of the way the corners are kind of set out on Mexico with such long straight sections between them, it's so important to be finding those apexes and getting a good run through those corners to then maximize speed. Coming on to the straights, it looks dry right now for qualifying. Hopefully somebody will let me know the weather for the race. Confirmation, it should be dry for the race. That's good. I believe we had wet quality last time here around Mexico. Knack put it on pole last time we was at Mexico in the wet with a 1:28. It was pretty close between Knack, James and Reaper in those top 3 spots last season, all running 1:28. Jay making up his own track there again. I'd remind J7 there that I would like to try and keep to the track, no adjusting track limits during AV racing on outlaps. Keep to the track limitations and restrictions, please. So only 12 drivers on the grid today. It could be a chance for some people to go out. I mean, he's going to be fast rounds and he can be... let's take it. Let's take our lap here with Jay. We're going to come through the last corner on to the straight now and into what is the first DRS zone along the straight. 890 meters from that grid line up into turn 1 along here. Really important to find that braking point, get as wide as possible for turn 1. Find that inside apex, get out wide enough again, find the apex for 2, and again for 3. Hard on the accelerator across this bit of straight into another DRS zone. Don't want to be running too much carb on the exit there, because that is going to slow you down into what is 4, 5, and 6 again. Finding those apex, getting the car out wide, hit the apex every time. Now turn 6, good rotation through there, using all the track and all the curbs. Now into 7, 8, 9, this is 7, this is 8, there's 9, coming down towards 10 and out through 11. Jay literally using every part of the track there through the chicane, getting as wide as he possibly can into 12 now, the start here of sector 3. That was the other DRS zone we just went through. 13 here, again, all about these apexes every corner, and then now to 16 and 17, back on the gas as soon as possible for the exit from here. Nice and tight to the inside there. That's a 1:13.8 there for Jay. That is a very good drive time, and that was a very smooth, nice run around Mexico, to be honest. Reaper retiring there instead. What's happened there? Reaper retiring from the race. I don't think he's even left the garage right now. We got Xz out right now on a set of mediums, James on a set of mediums, and David also on a set of mediums. Mexico, that big chicane, and accelerating hard out of this turn 17. Again, accelerating hard out of 3 onto these straights, and that chicane can put a lot of wear on the tyres, so might not be a bad idea starting on the medium. Xz there putting in a 116 on the medium, James on a 122 there. I think there's definitely more in that tyre for him. How's FCST running through here? Anyway, so with the medium tyre, could be an opportunity with not that many people in the race right now to potentially be able to maybe start in like 8th or 9th on the medium tyre. Okay, you're not at the front of the grid, but you're going to have that longer first stint than what a lot of people are. Unfortunate there, FCST in validating that lap coming through turn 12. Too much inside curb there, I think. Is he going to go around for another one right now? Nope, he's coming in to the pits. He's going to want some fresh rubber on. He wants to get as fast as he possibly can. Rowan there with a 120.8. Running very wide on that corner. House is on. We've got Knack on an outlap. Knack taking the pole position here for the last 2 seasons. Season 2 and Season 3, he came first in Season 2 and second to James in Season 3. I'll follow on board with him and see what his lap around here is like. Turning in turn 1 there. Good on the apex for 2. Nice on the apex for 3. Back on the gas early there. Using all the track on the exit. Not quite on the apex on 1. That's still coming up purple though for sector 1. Finding his apexes through 5 here. Wheels nicely placed either side of that run by curb, and on the exit nice and tight in 6. And we're looking through the chicane wide as possible on the entry there. A little tiny bit of a lift there through 9, solid through 10, and quick out of 11 there and into the DRS. That should be a pretty good time there on sector 2. That's coming up purple again on sector 3. Again, nice and wide there for turn 12. Super wide again there for 13. Gently brings it through, picks up the gas again for 16. And back on early for 17, getting as tight as possible, minimizing distance travelled, and that's a 1:14.9 there for Knack. Nearly a whole second off of Jay's time up there. Kuhn right now currently sitting in 3rd with a 1:15. Damastos also there with 1:15, and James though running a 1:15 on mediums right now. I think he's just currently Having a few cycle laps on his mediums there. Finding his apex. A little bit hesitant picking up a bit of gas there on the exit of 3 though. I think he'll be switching over to some soft tyres by the time we come to the end of this qualifying session. I expect to see that Renault starting a lot higher up on the grid. Let's look down here. FCST, our current driver, in second place. It's just starting a fast lap right now. Get on board, nice and wide there for turn 1. Finds that apex. Again, apex on 2. Picking up the gas really early there on 3. Just goes a little bit wide and invalidates it. That is a shame. That was nice and quick through that first set of corners there for this Haas driver. Having some problems today around Mexico. Mexico is quite tricky with these corners. The way, like I just described, they're kind of in sets. And if you kind of bring the wrong line into the first one, you don't have a good line on the exit. And that whole section of the track and your line through it becomes very, very compromised. We've got Jay on an outlap again, making up his own track limits. We really need to stop this. Got down the bottom line, Smithy in the pit there. Haven't seen Red Bull come out of the garage yet. That is the Renault of Smithy as well. Has neither emerged from here. We've still got 10 minutes, just under 10 minutes left to go. Reaper retired rather early, or I'm not sure what happened to Reaper. We're with Jay again right now, trying to beat his time. We won't follow on board. We'll take the cinematic camera on this lap. Car is looking up. Williams is looking very firm and planted and smooth through these corners right now. Finding that apex every time. Wheels nicely either side of the red and white checking. Have invalidated that lap through the chicane though. So look what's going on down here. FCST. And go around for another lap. What's he going to put some fresh rubber on right now? He's going back in to get some fresh rubber. Lang, the Red Bull, coming out of the pits right now. He's on an out lap. See that the other driver's Xz was running a medium. He's switched that out on to a soft right now. James is in the pit. I should imagine he'll be coming back out on a soft very soon. Who have we got? Nax on an out lap. Coons on an out lap. David also on an out lap. Xz on a hot lap now. That's red. He's going to start up for another one. Here, I think his best time was a 1:16 on the mediums. We'll see if it's McLaren. He should be able to get a better time right now. He's switched to the softs. Expect to see him back up in that 1:15 area. We got Lang a bit further behind on the track now as well. Also on a hot lap. Coming in the first series of corners. Red Bull looking pretty strong through there, finding the apexes. Let's get back on to the McLaren right now, coming up to the chicanes in to turn 7, nice and wide there. Nice and tight, using all the curb in there on the chicane. I think they're on the exit, whipped it around very quick to avoid oversteering a little bit, and a lot of speed in through 12. Red Bull right now just exiting the chicane, and that's flashing up purple right now for the Red Bull through sector 2 there. a look what Xz running. Xz did get up in the 1:15.6 there. We said we thought the McLaren would be in the 1:16 time. Was the Red Bull running there to 1:16.5 there for the Red Bull driver. That puts him into 8th place. What have we got from the Mercedes of Knack? What can he do? Jay currently running about a whole second quicker than him. Jay has been invalidating the rest of his laps from what I think I've seen. Good evening, all. How are we doing? How are you, VFL F1 League? We're having a race around Mexico. I hope you are good. I'm looking forward to hopefully another good, interesting race here at Mexico like we had last time. Knack improves his time there, but it's still not quite good enough to topple J7 from that pole position. 1:14.3, still running 0.5, half a second there behind Jay. We got right now Domestos currently on a fast lap, just about to come in to sector 2 right now. Finds our apex on 4 and 5 there pretty nicely. Takes a bit too much on 4, a little bit of a bounce there. Pretty comfortable rotation through 6. What do we like for the chicane? Jay improving his time there now to 1:13.662. Dom going very wide on the exit of turn 11 there, getting the power down a little bit too much, and that invalidates his lap. That's unfortunate for the Red Bull. The Red Bull's currently in 5th and 8th right now. We've got FCST on another invalidated lap. And qualifying at Mexico is not going well. How did FCST do last time here? Qualified in 9th last time and finished in 6th. If Reaper starting behind him right now, it could be a good chance for FCST to get points and stay running towards the front of that championship order with Reaper and Knack. Domestos there with 103 points. Pretty clear of Coon and Gargamelin behind him with 79-71. A good chance for the Red Bull as well of Domestos to get a lot of points and maybe try and move himself up a little bit in the next few races. What else is going on track right now? Rowan's on a hot lap in turn 8 right now. Turn 9 very wide there on turn 10, and that does invalidate. What else is going on? Smithy here in 11th. Have a look at the other times the other drivers are doing, and he's come out right at the end here on a set of mediums. This could work a little bit in his advantage right now. If he can get up into that 7th, kind of 8th position and run a comfortable 1:16 on these mediums, he could start in not too bad. As long as he can fend off from the cars behind him and keep the pace of the race, he's got much harder wear and tyre. The first few laps will be a bit difficult, but once those softs start to wear in, he could find himself in a very good position for this race. We're going to follow on with him and see how these mediums deal for him right now around this track. James's best time is on mediums right now as well. Sorry, I was unfitted, wasn't I? I was seeing my tyres I currently had in. I'm expecting James to come out though on the softs at the end there. So James can probably want to start up the front there, I think, with Jay and with Knack. Doing a little bit unsettled on that curb there of turn 8, but we're looking pretty comfortable through here and into the DRS zone again. And there's a lot of traffic up here. Domestos pulling off the track there for the Renault Smithy. Thank you very much, Knack, as well. Thank you, drivers. What sort of time are we running? 13, 14, 15. It's a 16.3 there for Smithy. That's good enough for 7th right now. He's got another go at it if he wants on that tyre. This James there is on an outlap right now on a set of softs, so I expect James to be moving up. David is also on a set of softs right now. Currently his best time is on the mediums, but let's have a look up at what Knack is doing right now. He's currently on the fast out. There's a lot of cars out. There's a lot of track. Not many of us in here, and all the cars are pretty close together right now. They've got 40 seconds to get around the track. Most of them on hot laps right now, though. I don't know if they're getting much of a tow or hindrance from the cars that are around them. Knack Mercedes running wide on the exit of the chicane there. He should, where are we, 20 seconds, he might just make it round for another lap there. Was that diving across this? That was James. What is he doing right now on this soft tyre over the other end right now? Time remaining, that is it. I think a few of the drivers did just make it round in time for another lap. James through the chicane here. That Renault's looking very planted on through turn 10 and 11. That's flashing up purple there on sector 2 right now for James. So much power on the exit of 12. Nearly disables and oversteers the car very slightly. In through 16, slow in very fast out. And that is a 1:14.192. That's good enough for 2nd place right now. Provisioning for James. Knack is back out on the track right now, and he invalidates in the chicane. He is not happy with that result. That's on track here. Coons on invalidated. Lap Domestos here. So a fast up. Who's the front there? Xz is on a fast up. FCST on a fast up, and he's invalidated that time. There's going to be no more laps for him to do. I think he was just about to drive in the wall as well. Domestos is also giving up on that lap. It's all gone to shit in the last few seconds of qualifying for a lot of drivers. Everyone's on invalidated laps right now. So I'm putting back into the pits, and Xz's going across the line to finish off qualifying today. So currently our top 2 drivers, I'm waiting for them to push Domestos' car back into the garage before we can end qualifying. So the top 2 drivers in the league, Reaper and FCST, will be starting from the back of the grid today. The grid's only 12 drivers, so that's maybe not so bad. FCST and Reaper being at the back there will of course have the choice of what tyre they start on. Smithy and David there in 8th and 9th on the medium as well. Ron's going to have to take out on the soft. Anyway, our good luck today, front row J7 and James, 2nd row it's Knack and Coon, 3rd row is Domestos and Xz, 7th Lang, 8th Smithy, 9th David, 10th Ron, 11th FCST and 12th Reaper. Open another beer for me. As the drivers select their fuel options, make any minor tweaks, not many that can be done. With park ferme in regulation, I expect to see FCST and Reaper probably starting on harder compound tyres around here. I should imagine the medium, don't know if the hard will provide the pace that they want, although It's not unnatural or unnormal to see Reaper not start from the back on hard tyres and take a very long first stint. Mexico, like I said, is pretty damaging on the tyres. Now the drivers feel with the hard tyre, it supplies them with enough grip through like the chicane section, 7, 8, 9, 10, or coming out of turn 17 on to the big long straight. Or whether they're going to opt for more, having started on the soft, opt for more of a double stop strategy around here and go on a set of softs and a couple of sets of mediums. Well, it depends on if it's a safety car or not, but taking the softs to hards, it's a pretty long stint on hards through the latter part of the race, where you could find some people on a different tyre strategy, on softer compounds, fresher tyres, having a bit of an advantage over you. This is our formation lap right now. Let me see what the game says. And out tyre options in a second, and we'll have a look what they've put on. So yes, FCST and Reaper have both gone for the medium tyre there. I think a lot of drivers did opt for the two-stop around here last time. I can't remember exactly. Knack and James's. What did they do? No, James and Knack had a one-stop last time. They must have gone on to the hards, maybe softs to mediums. I'm not sure. Reaper had a two-stop here last season. FCST and Chronic also bent on two stops. It would be now doing a one stop. Only a few drivers, James, Knack, Lollopuppa, and Jasper, used a one stop strategy around here last season. I do soft and mediums on here. I can't remember. I haven't raced Mexico in so long. I haven't seen the game give me an option of what the game's suggesting either to go by. We've got a very long run coming. There's the game suggesting it as a two-stop, a soft, medium, or a soft, medium. So even the game doesn't suggest that hard tyre around this track. I mean, you can normally stretch out tyre limitations a little bit, but I think a one-stop soft to mediums around Mexico, you're not going to have the same grip or the power out of some of these corners, and it's just going to lose you too much time. We're lining up on the grid. I can't even see the front person in the front there because there's a goddamn fucking sign in the way. That's a better view. Yeah, we'll just look at James instead. There we go, there's a sign. I can't even see the lights. Well on game. 3, 4, 5 lights are on. And they're out, we're off. We've got that 890 meter run up into turn 1 right now. Please no heroics. Knack looks like he's got a very good launch. Jay was sleeping on that launch. James and Knack both in front of him there. Everyone scrambling for turn 1 for position. Both the Red Bulls looking quite well from that starting there. McLaren as well also. Reaper and FCST not able to make much move. McLaren diving on the inside of Red Bull there. That's running wide right now. That's the Red Bull Domestos. That's gone wide. Knack is on the lead right now. Jay was absolutely sleeping on that start of that race. How are we doing coming through turns 4 and 5? Reaper and FCST both have a few positions right now. Looking to make more moves, filing them all down into a single file right now. So FCST and David going out of the back there. Dom trying to make a charge through and move on David right now and get back and gain his positions. Unsure what happened. Where is Lang there? Pushed out of the chicane there, maybe by someone. Rejoining the track now at the back. Both Red Bulls dropping down massively in position. Rowan after making his way forward, losing a couple of positions there right now. Reaper on a charge right now on the first lap. Step behind Run's car, just then backs off a little bit out of that, and we start to file down a little bit now into a single file. Xz there, and no, the game's just been crazy right now for a second with my telemetry. We got Rowan going to the pits, David going in to the pits right now. What am I looking for? That one, position change. Reaper right now up 8 positions after the first lap of this race. Smithy's gained 5 positions on the medium tyre as well. That's very advantageous for Smithy. Jay dropping down 7. This can't be, that's not right. Oh, it's giving me the wrong thingies. Where are we? What's going on? It says Rowan's in the lead right now. I find this highly unlikely. Knack is still our leader. Jay is in third. James is in second. We've got the AlphaTauri of Kuhn right now is in fourth, trying to chase down this front pack currently. Xz is there in fifth. Smithy is in 6th. Times have been corrected. Reaper's in 7th. He's only gained 5 positions. Goddamn interval times on this game. These drivers on the medium tyre are looking relatively strong here right now in the middle pack. 6th, 7th, 8th right there. They can maybe stick together, catch that DRS off each other. It's lap 3. It's going to be enabled now. Reaper drafting in behind Smithy there, right there. What's going to happen on this corner? No one's going to want to give up. Smithy does slip in behind Reaper. A little tap from behind there, though. Smithy also picking up a time penalty there as well, the first penalty of this race. What happened to both of our Red Bulls back here? So something happened to Messos in the first couple of corners, forced him wide on the exit of turn 3 there, I think it was. He's now on these softer tyres and he's stuck behind these guys on the mediums right now. He needs to really work his way forward before he has to ditch off these softs and switch to another compound. Otherwise, he might start altering a strategy and actually go on to a set of hards to make sure to outstop the medium guys by the end of the race if he can't make his way past them soon enough. So close to the back of FCST there. Let's have a look towards the front here. Knack, James and Jay having a bit of breakaway as Kuhn just got into the DRS. He's just out of it right there. He is blasting through his ERS to try and catch up with these front guys. Maybe hasn't been having maybe the best of his races in this season. Kuhn hasn't visited a podium this season actually. Kuhn was looking not too bad on podium visits last season. Jay making his way past James right now in turn 4. Reaper currently up in 6th. Domestos, we missed that. He's managed to get both FCST and Smithy. That might have been in the DRS zone along that main straight. Flicked up to the other guys. He said he's on those softs. He needed to make them work and get past. And he's on a charge right now to catch up with Reaper and Xz. Reaper is going to be falling very tightly behind Xz here for that DRS zone. Make his move past him into turn 1. There's McLaren, there's Mercedes following about 3 car lengths behind on the exit of 17. Reaper should be within plenty of time. Xz leaves the inside open. He knows when he's probably been beaten, and that's absolutely fine. Stay with Reaper now and try and collect the DRS from him and get him to give you a bit of a tow around the track for the next few laps. That'll help you defend off Domestos for a little bit, who's on a charge forward right now. He's going to be giving these guys on the mediums a DRS boost, which he is. FCST making his way up in front of Dom there before turn 4. Back towards the front. James still yet to reclaim his P2 position there from Jay. Slipping back a little bit there from James, only just in the DRS range of these two. Knack really trying to put the pace down. We normally see some of these guys being quite reserved with ERS, but They are really having to burn through, I think, this very long straight with the DRS zone on it. It's very easy to lose a position to the driver behind you unless you are willing to burn and push on the ERS. See Jay there pushing with everything he's got right now. Wanting to summon up the inside, gets wheel to wheel there. A little bit of a back out there through 3. The back wheel, Nack's back wheel nearly coming into contact with Jay's front wheel just then. That's James is right up behind these two now after their slight battling. Jay trying to get around the outside of Nack there on turn 4. Way off track, leaves the door open for James to come back at him wheel to wheel there through 6. Into the chicane now, back to single file. The more they squibble Kuhn back here. It's a little bit out of shape in the chicane there. Takes a distinctive other line to get himself back in shape. He's trying to follow along hard to these drivers. He wants to catch up and get into that DRS. They're battling right now. It could be the perfect chance for Kuhn to catch back up to them. There is a safety car right now. James and Jay have nipped into the pits. They've seen that just in time. Nack had gone past a little bit and he saw him brake a lot and slow down. I think he thought about trying to sneak across there into the pits before realizing that maybe he'd gone a bit too far. So he's going to start that safety car going round. But I think there should be plenty of time for everyone to catch back up to it. Let's have a look. Pretty much everyone else has used that opportunity to pit in, and wonder what Nack is gonna do right now, because if he pits in a minute to change his tires, he is gonna lose a lot of positions and be pretty much towards the back of the pack there. If we switch this to the leader right now, relatively not too long a pit lane on Mexico, but it's relative right now with where they are. He's going to be coming back out in the middle, down around between 7th and 8th in about P7. That gap's going to close up as we go further through the track, and he'll be out the back, but on the restart as well, he isn't going to stand a chance, I don't think. If Jay gets a good restart on those brand new fresh softs, I don't think Nack's 6-lap-old softs from around here are going to stand much of a chance to Jay if Jay gets a good launch. James put on a set of mediums right now in the middle. He's going to play a bit of a longer game there, I think. Try and stay behind those guys, the softs, keep the DRS, just keep the pressure on, throw it behind, have a longer second stint, and then probably go to a set of softs later on, depending if there's another safety car. Could switch them back to mediums, depends when that other safety car comes. FCST, you see, is putting a set of hards under that safety car. He's going to be looking at taking those pretty much to the end and gaining positions through most other drivers being on a 2-stop strategy, but that could potentially leave FCST open late in the race to come under attack from some drivers on some much fresher, softer compound tyres. Most drivers right now have gone for that medium tyre right now. I think the medium tyre right now with the safety car going where it did is probably the best option right now. Jay's kind of limited himself there to having to have another pit stop relatively quickly. The other guys being on that medium tyre, it's going to leave them open to the ability to take them for a bit longer. If there's a safety car later in the race, or depending on what time it comes, they can stop and they can put another set of mediums on to go to the very end of the race. Jay's already going to have to pit, and then if that other safety car or something comes, doesn't give him the same sort of flexibility being on the soft there, the same as Xz and Dom. Xz and Dom, they're being on the soft though, because they're going to want to fight back against those guys in the mediums in the front and work their way forward, so it seems a bit more logical for them. I would have maybe thought Jay would have taken the medium tyre, but especially seeing Nack wasn't going in the pit, knowing that he's going to have an old soft tyre to be restarting this race on, I would have probably opted for what James did and take that medium tyre to get that long other stint. No, the Knack's going to have to go into the garage. He's going to have to pit relatively soon, and then he's going to have to wear out that tyre, working his way back towards the front of the grid, as where you're going to have a nice longer stint on a harder compound. Safety car is in this lap. We're just about coming in to sector 3. Safety car there peeling away. Knack is in charge of this relaunch. We might follow on with the back of him and watch. He is going to take this super slow through these last corners, and wait there, the foot goes down halfway through 17. Caught Jay off a little bit off guard there. But how are those fresh, soft tyres of Jay? He's looking pretty comfortable high. He's trying to lose the toe there to James. That's behind him. Reaper and Xz is coming in pretty strong with those fresh sorts of X's, and Domestos proving worthwhile for those drivers. FCST there on the hards. Langs on some mediums, run on some older mediums. Run hasn't pitted under the safety car either. He's chosen to take tack position on that. 6 of old mediums are absolutely fine there, though. To Will a little bit there with Lang and Rowan. Rowan taking a lot of curb to try and get on the inside. Jay has now gone past Knack on those brand new, fresh, soft tyres. What is going on with my camera? Right, where's my interval time gone? And there we go. Jay burning away on those soft tyres now. After one lap, gets in front of Knack, and he's now got a 2-second lead. Says the fastest lap on that restart of the race so far, being a 1:17.2. Knack under fire from James right now, who gets the DRS on him. Reaper, his teammate as well, looks like he might make his way past Knack, following the back of James. Reaper locks up. Knack retains that position right now for the second, but I think Reaper's going to want to make his way through. Those 9-lap-old softs there of Knack, I think, are starting to cost him dearly. Reaper looking to the outside of Knack. He wants past. It's on the inside of him, and we have contact in turns 5 there between Knack and Reaper. And 2 Mercedes. The Silver War has started once again. Knack now losing a lot of positions there, down into 9th, and he has an absolutely demolished wing. He's going to have to come into the pits right now. Yellow flag there through sector 2. Smithy is out of the race, so just noticed that's obviously what caused the safety car. I've got to even check what caused the safety car. That would have been Smithy's. Smithy's DNF. Sorry, Smithy. We kind of forgot about you a little bit there. We're on James right now. He's got a 3.5 second gap to the leader right now. He's going to want to keep this at a minimum, basically. He's going to have the longer stint here. And he knows Jay's tyres are going to be wearing out sooner than his. James, though, with a 5-second penalty here already. That's going to hurt him come the end of the race. So we've got Jay, Reaper, and Xz-ReaperX and Knack, the only drivers currently without penalties. I'd love to rewind that Knack and Reaper incident. I think Reaper got along side by side of him. Knack looked like he was going to turn in, and Reaper didn't turn in at the same time, and Knack just seemed to bounce off the side of Reaper's car and absolutely demolish his wing. Rather unfortunate. But with not too many drivers in the race, one having already DNF'd. There's only one other driver who's not going to pick up points in this race. FCST right now, he's on hard tyres. He's moved up into 6th right now. Those softs have definitely worked for Dom and Xz. They've managed to gain a couple of positions right now, up into 4th and 5th right now. Oh, there's the wing cam into turn 1 on the Haas. No, don't take it away from me. I think FCST might be starting to catch back up to X's right now, even though he's on those softer tyres. He's going to need to be careful with his hards, not to burn them out too quickly, too early on though, because he's going to need to make sure he leaves some grip for later on in the race. There's more drivers picking up penalties there right now as well. Jay right now just extending that lead by 5 seconds. He is on the soft tyre. That's how much more grip that softer tyre is giving him. We're on board with Reaper right now. He's just going to be inside the DRS zone of James. There's the line. 7 tenths away. He's going to have to push hard. He's got a lot of DRS there though if he wants past. It's a very long DRS zone. One of the longest, if not the longest DRS zone, I think, on the F1 calendar. China starts quite late down the straight, and a couple of the other ones do. Mexico starts pretty early. Look at Reaper there, right up. He's closed that gap up about 7/8 tenths that came through turn 17. And that's that power of the DRS down to 3 now. He's taken 4 to 5 tenths out of their time difference from that DRS zone. Both on 5-lap old mediums right now. Reapers, though, I should imagine, would have a little bit more wear right now. He's been pushing these mediums pretty hard to catch up and work his way up through the pack. You can see James maybe getting a slight bit more grip and a better line through the chicanes there, really pulling away out of turn 11. Reaper, though, late braking very well and keeping control of the car to catch up to James in the corners. And we're back now. We're 3-4 tenths within him before we come to the DRS zone. Now we will be able to make our move past. Reaper should pretty comfortably get in to turn 1 first. James tries to come over, keep him to the inside. There's no stopping that Mercedes, though. It's taking turn 1 first. Riding all the curves, a lot of speed coming into that first set of corners. James as well, a lot of speed there, follow him out. The second DRS zone here though, but I'm pretty sure it's still taken from the same timeline. So if you have it in at turn 1, you're still going to have it when you go through on turns 2. James looking very comfortable with ERS right now. Both these drivers looking very good with their ERS management, to be honest. How's Jay looking at the front there? We've been blasting that ERS, setting his lap time 7 seconds ahead right now, though, on the softer compound tyre. Just trying to, ooh, a little bit of a slip there on the curb with the back wheel. Tyres, the softs starting to feel their wear right now. The car almost getting a little bit out of shape as he's putting the power down there. I imagine he's going to take one more lap here. And then what we have, 7 there, then there's another. Oh, double stop to mediums right now. There's still going to be 20 laps to take on a set of mediums. So you've only done 7 on a set of softs. He's going to need to keep these softs going for a couple more laps right now. See, I don't think he's going to maybe push too much time out of those softs. They're going to start failing. He might be able to hold roughly the time off from Reaper and James. Roughly what it is, about 7 seconds right now. But I don't think he's going to be able to keep gaining and pushing. There's a battle going on here between Xz and FCST. FCST trying to push up on those hard tires. I think he might be able to get Xz right now. He goes up the outside there. Xz slips in behind. Tyler tap. Their wings should be okay. Wheels as well through turn 5. FCST's got the position there into turn 6. Xz can stay close. He'll get the DRS in the next zone after the exit of the chicane. If he can stay tight in these corners, there's the timeline. He's going to get the DRS. Big lift to manage his way through 9 into DRS right now. It's not enough to be able to fight for his position back, but it's good enough to keep his lap speed up. gonna get it. We should just get it for the straight as well. Has just got it along here. He's not going to be close enough to fight FC for that position though, but again, that DRS is going to help his lap times out a bit. I see Dom picking up more penalties right now on that soft tyre. These soft tyre guys, I think, probably starting to feel it. Dom using a lot of ERS right now. Trying to keep his lap times up. He knows FCST's coming in strong. He doesn't want to start giving FCST any sort of DRS tow around this track. Look at these tyres, 8 laps on them. We're thinking around maybe, what's that, lap 10, 11, 12, they'll be looking at taking them off and then leaving themselves with, I think that will leave them with about 16 or so laps on the mediums at the end. Dom's taking them off now after 8 laps. He's going to put on now with 20 odd laps left to go. We're going to take a medium for that long? Are we putting on? He's putting on the hards. He is going to go for that hard. That's going to say if you want to take the medium, those softs need to last for anywhere around 11, 12 laps, I think, to then be a bit more comfortable with that medium towards the latter half of the race. Safety car came quite early, which is why I was surprised with Jay putting on that soft tyre. So I think Reaper and James right now, we can see the times, they've closed off about 2 laps ago. Jay was 7.2 seconds in front of them. They near enough closed that back off by a second 2 laps later on to lap 9. So Jay is losing time right now, losing roughly 5/10 a lap, and he's now also picking up penalties. This like Mercedes hitting a lot of grass through the chicanes just then. James is following strongly behind right now. FCST here, but he's 8 seconds behind those leaders. As Jay is going for another run around here. Can take these tyres up to lap 12 for definite. 16 laps on the mediums at the end will be very comfortable for him to do if he can manage these softs and not lose too much time. Because where is our leader time? Jay going into the pits and coming out. He's going to come out somewhere around just in front of 6th, 26 seconds in front of that. If he's coming out in around 5th place if Jay pits in around now. Reaper and James have also got a bit more time there. FCST looking strong on the hard zone with when the other guys pit in, but again FCST's got a long way to go to take those hards to the end of the race. It's already done 10 laps on them, and we've got looking at 28 laps on a set of hards. He wants to take them to the end of the race. And if FCST is going to stay on those hards for as long as he can and chuck on some softs in the latter part of the race, because I think 20 laps is going to be pushing those to their absolute extreme limit. We got here Williams is that Jay coming into the pits now, taking the softs off. Which tyre is he going to be putting on? He's going for the medium tyre. He's going to take 17 laps now on a medium tyre. I think that 17 to finish off his race. Xz coming to the pit now as well. That's left him the perfect pit window there. Then that is thankful for him. They're not being stuck behind the McLaren there. Xz chucking on a hard tyre to go to the end of the race. Jay on a medium right now. He's 14 seconds behind FCST. He should start to catch FCST. Like we said, he could be looking pretty good for taking this race right now. It's 14, about 20 seconds of time lost in the pit lane there. James and Reaper are looking pretty safe with when they choose to pit in there as well. Lang's on the same time strategy by the looks of it, so they're not going to have to worry about being caught behind the Red Bull, because they will be pitting roughly the same time, and they'll have that clear gap behind Jade, carrying and racing each other. And it depends with Reaper and James now who's going to then pull the plug on stopping first. Who's going to try which tactic? Who wants to take these mediums for a little bit longer and put maybe a set of softs back on the end, or who's going to put them in back early and put on another set of mediums for the end of the race? The back end of James's car nearly getting away from him just then. Reaper slowly starting to stretch out that lead right now. What's going on here? Jay rapidly catching up with FCSD. I'm sure there was more of a gap there a minute ago. Williams falling very close behind the Haas. It's going to be in the DRS zone. Jay's going to get the DRS again along the big straight, and I don't think there's going to be much way for FCST to defend from this Williams now. He's on a softer, fresher compound, and we got 3.6. That should be enough. DRS is active. FCST pushing everything he's got, trying to defend that in the sideline, trying to keep Jay to the outside. Jay's going to get the DRS again through the next section though, because there's only one timeline. He's going to dive to the inside here on turn 4. He does go for the late break and goes past FCST. FCST tried his best there. All credit to the Haas driver to try and hold off the Williams there. And the grip and stability this Williams has got coming through the chicanes there, and you're looking off the back of this car, you can see how much the Haas is pushing and struggling to try and remain pace with it. It was only a matter of time with the DRS. I think FCST knew it as well. He'd done well through 2 DRS zones, holding it off. He left the inside open into turn 4. He knew he was beat at that point. So bar anything drastic, I think, happening to the Williams here of Jay, I think he's looking pretty comfortable to go on forward and take the win on this race, to be honest. It's looking so comfortable. Every apex, almost, maybe a bit too much apex in some places there. Getting a little bit bouncy. Let's see. What's going on? James rapidly losing pace off of Reaper there. We've got Knack back here now on the hard tyres. Down in 8th after he was leading the race and fighting with Jay at the start. Now down into 8th, catching up to the AlphaTauri of Kuhn right now. Both on hard compound tyres. Knack's very slightly fresher, only by a couple laps, though not enough to make a real difference, I don't think. He's got a DRS, he dives to the inside of 4, tries to go around the outside. Kuhn managed to squeeze through, switching lanes there into 6. Knack back behind. Great racing here from the Mercedes and AlphaTauri. These two, 1 point paired together in the previous season. Done a very good job of taking the constructors for AlphaTauri. Knack in the DRS zone, looking before turn 12, knows they can't send one in from that distance. Followed tight behind for the DRS zone out of 17. And that's the opportunity to strike. Okay, neither driver looking too strong on the RS. Both of them on the RS coming out of 17. Coon knows he needs a lot of space between him and Knack. He wants to defend in the DRS zone. Knack is 2-3 tenths behind. He should be fine. He should be able to get up the inside there. Knack does just slot in front of Coon through there. And Knack is going to get the DRS through the second sector as well. Coon looking to the inside there. I think we're a little bit too far back for that one. Nice thought process though. Look at what's going on between them. The rest of the cars, I think, starting to space out a little bit now. We're going to see a bit of a change of order when some guys come to pit in. See Reaper and James right there on a 16 old lap mediums. James losing pace there to Reaper right now. I think James, what have we got there on the interval times? 3 seconds of Reaper. That was the leader time. Look at where James is going to be coming out. There's a safety car. What has caused that? Davis DNF'd. Where is that Williams to? It's in these end corners. Everyone's just, where was it? There it is. What are we doing in the corner there on that bit of the track? Lying on 2 lap old mediums right now. Not too bad for some. That's some positions gained for the Red Bull driver right there, because he'll be taking his mediums to the end. Someone pitted just in time. Both the Red Bulls looking a bit better and into the action right now. 5 and 6 after we saw them so low down at the start. I got wheel spin and spun into the wall. I'm sorry, everyone. That must be from David. What's going on here between these two Red Bulls? Lester and Lang. I've seen cars glitching around. That was odd. Pretty sure someone just picked up a penalty. Anyway, Reaper going in to the pits. James going to the pits there by putting on soft tyres. Where is Jay? Jay also in the pit, putting on soft tyres. That safety car massively just changed up this race for the last 5 minutes. That has come up for the perfect time for Reaper and James. They couldn't have asked for that better. They were lagging behind by about 6 seconds from Jay. It's come in and they've put on some soft tyres. Jay had already done his other stint. This is what I said. This is why I said going onto that medium tyre for that second stint when that first safety car came out was a much better option, because it left them open for this exact move from Jay having to take an earlier pit and then pitting again. Yeah, he's going to start behind him now once we catch back up under the safety car, but exactly that. He is behind them again now. And he's going to have to fight with Jay and Reaper this time if he wants to make his way forward. Where's Knack down in PA? Everyone's got mediums on to go to the end. We've got another lap or so under a safety car, so we've got about 10 laps on the soft to go to the end. This could be interesting between these three right now on the restart. I'd say almost on this, Jay is maybe in, he's not in the first control in the restart there, he's almost maybe in the slight better position of the three, as long as he just remains with and close to James and Reaper. He can let those two squabble, he can let them burn up their tyres. They've still got 10 laps to go to the end of this race. It's gonna be pretty pushing that soft tyre to the edge of its limits. So Jay just remains with those front two. Let them squabble, let them wear in that tire way too much till they find they don't have much grip left on those last 2-3 laps, and then use that opportunity to strike. But this could be the same for FCST and Domestos. It's going to be a little bit harder after the restart for them to get going and remain with the pace for those first few laps. They're really going to have to push those guys on the mediums if they want to stay with these three at the front on the soft tire. But if they can, they could do exactly the same and take advantage maybe at the very end of the race when those softs have really started to push a little bit, started to fail a little bit from those guys fighting and squabbling for those podium positions. And then FCST and Domestos could be an absolute great position there for maybe one of them to sneak or steal a podium off one of the other three. See, we've done one lap. This is the second lap. Safety car should be coming back in now. No? Safety car staying with us. I'm pretty sure we've already done a safety car lap. I mean, that's just better and better for the guys from the softs, to be honest. The more safety car laps they can have, the less wear they can probably put on these softs than what they would do over the course of a normal lap. So we're going to have about 9 laps. What's that? 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Yeah, we have 9 laps to go. Once we restart racing at the end of this, I think now's a good time to have a look at these penalties. Oh my Jesus fucking Christ. James there with 17 seconds of penalties is really not gonna serve him well until the end, at the end of the race. I think definitely FCST or Dom could be taking that third spot on the podium, although those themselves have 9 seconds of penalties. They need to be within 8 seconds of James. Either FCST or Domestos here can get within 8 seconds of James when this race comes to an end. They will be, one of them will be stealing one of these podium positions. There it is, safety car in this lap. Reaper will be back in charge of the pace. Just imagine he will try and do the same as Nak. He'll wait until probably part way through turn 17 and then randomly just put his foot down and try and catch James and Jay off guard. Nak has joined. Someone's Nak must have lost connection there to rejoin. That's that Reaper as he just put his foot down there. Now we're coming through 17. We're weaving. James is staying close to him there. Reaper suddenly putting his foot down. Jay's in AI mode right now. Down into 6th place. What is going on right here? Is he still in? Jay is still in AI mode right now. Someone's sleepy on the restart. Right back down in 9. I think this race could all be... Jay has left the session. Someone's having connection difficulties there right now. This race might have just been handed to Reaper on a silver platter right now. He's in the front. He's got soft tyres on. 3-second penalty, and his closest driver behind him has 17 seconds right now. It's looking like a podium for FCST right now after starting in the back of the grid. Both drivers, Reaper and FCST, starting in that 11th and 12th position, looking at taking the podium right now. Lang's moved his way in front of his teammate of Domestos. Lang can get within 3 seconds of FCST right now. Lang could be stealing a podium by the end of the race. He's got less time. He's only 2.1 off of FCST right now. If he can stay within this time, we're gonna see Lang and the Red Bull on the podium at the end of the race. We've only got... Is that gonna be 7 laps of the race left to go, I think. 8 laps of the race left to go. Domestos, though, his teammate is putting on some pressure behind him. He's got Xz and Koon running very close behind as well. Everyone's scrabbling for those points. Virtual safety car now. What has caused this one this time? There's a Mercedes at the back here. Nak has lost a wing, unsure what has caused that to happen, but that is the cause of our virtual safety car. He is not having a good race today. It's only a virtual though. It's not going to slow the guys down that much, James. What are times looking like? Lang starting to slip back a little bit from FCST at 2.5 seconds now. He needs to stay within a 3-second gap for the end of the race. Could be looking like very good points set for Red Bull though over AlphaTauri. They could be very close to moving up a spot after this. Slowly creeping on that 3rd spot in the constructors if Gargamelin hasn't been here for the last few races, and that's very much hurting AlphaTauri's chances in the constructors right now. That's where the battle is right now. I mean, if Koon can work his way forward, Koon with only a 3-second penalty there. We've got an FCST, that's 5, that's 10 to Koon, that's 5 seconds between FCST and Koon. Even Koon there is within FCST's penalty window, and he's very much within Lang's penalty window there as well. Koon could be taking 3rd position in this from 6th. I think if my math is correct right now, if these drivers stay as close together as they are right now, Domestos sending one up the inside of his teammate into turn 4. Lang gives him space to go past. Little bit of wheel contact coming into 5 there though, and that's allowed Koon to dive straight forward into 4th. If we go back to our interval time right now, Koon is just about inside FCST's penalty window. Koon could be taking his 1st podium of this season right now, and that would be only the 4th podium for AlphaTauri this season after their dominating lead through the previous season. Shame to see the 2 Red Bulls come together like they did there. Both drivers, both drivers' wings still okay. I can't really see. It's too far back from that. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Lang's wing's okay, and I think Dom's wing looks okay there as well. Xz has also made his way in front of the Red Bulls as well right now, though. All on very similar tyre compounds. Koon's on that soft tyre to go to the end. Wondering how that's going to last him, if maybe Xz can make a bit of a fight back at the end when that soft starts to run out a little bit. Knack right now taking our fastest lap with a 1:15.5. Real life fastest lap in a race around Mexico is a 1:18.741 set by Hamilton in 2019. Metals right now should be within striking distance of Xz in the DRS zone. Xz hasn't got much DRS to push where it's going to be close if he sends a dive up the inside of turn 1. He's got all the DRS use right now. He wants his position back even though he's got more penalties. Can he do it? He's going to keep Xz tight to the outside. The inside's going to be for Xz in the next corner. Dom round the outside there of the McLaren. And now we've got the Williams of Jay getting involved in the fray right here as well. This looks like Jay is back in racing. I didn't see him join again, and he sends it super deep up the inside of 4 there on the Williams. It's on that soft tyre right now, though. He's currently in 5th. Big old comeback here. Lang's catching back up to these guys as well. So much position changing going on down this bottom parts of the track. This Williams is back on a charge right now. Can he catch back up to Koon and FCST by the end of this race? I don't think he can. Koon is looking a little bit too far off FCST right now. FCST is looking pretty safe in that 3rd position right now. Unless Jay can absolutely put his foot down over a couple of laps, get past Koon. Which I don't think is going to be possible right now. FCST may have just got that other podium position. Bouncing across curbs right there, though, as I flip over to him to see what's going on. He's going here to mess us an eggs. He's back in front. He's going to stay to the inside. He's leaving that inside open. Domestos doesn't go for the dive down the inside. Three-second time out there for Lang, up to 9 seconds right now. Rowandemoawn with 18 seconds. Jay right now has caught up with Koon right now. If anyone's going to stop FCST getting a penalty right now, what's just gone on with Reaper right there? How has James got in front of him then? What has just happened? We've completely missed that. FCST is right behind right now as well. What's going on with Reaper? He is... FCST go forward, James go forward. Reaper driving exceptionally slow around the track right now. Jay just edging his way in front of Koon there. A little bit of bump and tap on the wing of the wheel, coming through 5 and 6. I'm not sure what Reaper was doing. He's pulling over. He's just letting drivers past everywhere. Just, I'm not sure. Just coming into the pits on the last lap. You can't tell me those softs weren't going to hold out. And he's retired in the pits on the last lap from leading the race. I don't know what has just happened, but this has massively changed the finishing standings of the race. James right there. Where's the gap to the leader? Wrong one. James got a 17-second penalty. Is just about going to hold third place because Koon's got a 3-second penalty. On podium, I think, is going to be James, ST, and Jay, and Jay's going to be a push tight if Jay gets first or if FCST gets the win on this. James, 5-second time penalty for an unserved penalty. That's going to push him down even further. It might be Koon on the podium right now. FCST up there in first right now. I don't think Jay's close enough to derail FCST off that top spot. No, Jay goes in seconds. Koon takes the other spot on the podium. James has dropped down into fourth from the other time penalty that served right at the end. Domestos fifth, Xz sixth. Rowan's gonna be 8th and Lang's gonna be 7th when these two drivers finish. Unsure why Reaper pulled into the pits there and retired himself on the very last lap of the race. Choking on my bit right now. Goddamn. That's our podium right now. It's FCST, J7, and Koon. Oh god, fucking damn. That's our podium finishes for today. Full 3 of James, 5th of Domestos, 6th Xz, 7th Lang, 8th Rowan, 9th Knack, 10th Reaper, 11th David, 12th Smithy. Fucking hell. Knack takes our fastest lap today as well, and no one got away penalty free. That was a slightly chaotic race. We'll be back on Monday again at 6 PM UK time for our next race, race 12, which is the Netherlands. We'll see you then.